All right. Last time we started off the system of equations. We have at least two equations. If they're consistent, that means they have a solution, meaning they intersect, at least in one point. They could be the same line, where they have an infinite number of solutions, or intersect at one point and then only have one solution. If they're consistent and dependent, that means they have solutions and they're the same line. So this is an example of the same line. Inconsistent means there's no solution. The lines are parallel. Independent, it means it's not the same line. And these are the two examples of independence. And we talked about last time the different methods of solving. There are four methods. Graphing, so you graph each equation on the same chart and look for if they intersect, and where they intersect is your solution. We talked about substitution. Where you solve one equation for a variable, plug it into the second, and then repeat the process. Then the third method is called the elimination method. It's where you choose a variable to eliminate and add the two equations, trying to get one of them to disappear. And the last one we're talking about is called Cramer's. But before I do the Cramer's rule, I want to make sure everybody understands the first two or three. So let's look at our examples. Raffinate. Here's example 4. Let's look at this one. We got 4x plus 3y equals 11. That's line 1. Negative 5x plus 2y equals 15. So this is line 1, and this is line 2. Let's do all methods, except the graphing. Graphing is going to be difficult in this one. So let's look at substitution. So the first step is what in substitution? Choose an equation and solve for either variable. So which one looks easiest? We'll do one. All right. So we choose line 1. So we chose line 1, now choose a variable. All right, we're choosing x. So we subtract 3y from both sides. And then divide both sides by 4. We have to come back to that equation at the end. So what's step 2? Very good. Plug that equation from step 1 into the other equation. So line 2 is negative 5x plus 2y equals 15. So anywhere I see an x, I put 11 minus 3y over 4. And solve for the remaining variable. All right, so we can multiply the top. So we have negative 55 plus 15y over 4 plus 2y equals 15. We have fraction and equal sign. So we have to get rid of the fractions. How do we do that? Find the LCD, multiply each term by the LCD, and then simplify. So the LCD is 4. Multiply each term by 4. Those cancel, so we have negative 55 plus 15y. 4 times 2 is 8y. 4 times 15 is 60. Combine like terms and solve for y. Add 55 to both sides. So far, so good. Then divide by 23. And we know that y equals 5. Plug that solution into the equation from step 1. To find the other variable. So we know that y equals 5, x equals 11 minus 3y over 4, x equals 11 minus 3 times 5, 11 minus 15 over 4 makes it -1. So that's your place of intersection. That's substitution. It looked difficult, but it really wasn't. The hardest part, okay, just again, if you need to use calculators, but you could see that 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1. Let's do the same equation using elimination this time. So we have 4x plus 3y equals 11. That's line 1. And line 2 is negative 5x plus 2y equals 15. How do we do elimination? No, we do elimination. What are the steps for elimination? Choose a variable to eliminate. The coefficients must be opposites. In other words, same number, different signs. So obviously this is not going to be easy. So we have to change both equations. So pick a variable. Okay, we'll pick x. What do we have to multiply to these so they become the same number but different signs? Well, obviously, since we have 4 and 5, if we multiply the top one by 5 and the bottom one by 4, we'll get the same numbers. So line 1 becomes 20x plus 15y equals 55. And line 2 becomes negative 20x plus 8y equals 60. Now you add both equations, both lines. 20 and 20 cancel. 15 plus 8 is 23. 55 plus 60 is 115. Solve for the remaining variable. So we divide both sides by 23. Y equals 5. What do you do with that 5? Which one? It doesn't matter because we used them both in the beginning. Plug that solution into either equation and solve for the variable. So which equation are we going to choose? Actually, yeah, so choose either equation and plug it in there. So let's use equation 2. I chose equation 2. So it's negative 5x plus 2y equals 15. Anywhere I see a y, I put a 5. Solve for x. Subtract 10 from both sides. So it's negative 5x equals 5. Change the signs. Divide by 5. And those are your solutions at negative 1, positive 5. Pretty easy. It just takes time. Now, that leads us to our last method, Cramer's rule. Go back to the simpler ones we had. This is Cramer's rule. Cramer's rule converts your equations into matrices. We have two variables and with two equations. So we see the answers are going to be 5 and 1. This is row 1. This is row 2. This is column 1. This is column 2. So row 1 obviously is the equation 1. The column 1 deals with the x values, the coefficients, and the column 2 deals with y's. Column 3 would deal with z's and so on and so forth. Only put the coefficients in there. So the first one, in the first row, first column, the coefficient is 1. The next one is negative 1. On the second row, we have 2 and positive 1. There we have our matrices. Convert to a matrix. So we have the equation here and the answers here. Step 2. Find the main determinant, D. Here's how you find the main determinant. You take the values of your matrix, the first matrix. First, you multiply those values in that diagonal, which is 1 times 1. Then you subtract the product on the other matrix, other diagonal, 2 times -1. So our main determinant is 3. Now to find the X and Y values. Step 3, to find the dx. Place the answer matrix in the first column. And find dx. So we take the answer, 5, 1, put it in the first column. Leave the second one alone. So it's -1 and 1. Find the determinant like we just did. 5 times 1 minus the second one, 1 times -1. 5 plus 1 is 6. That's dx. To find dy, place the answer column, answer matrix, in the second column. And find dy. So I leave the first one alone, which is 1, 2, and put the answers in the second one. Multiply. That's 1 minus 10 equals -9. That's dy. Now we put them all together. To find the x and y values, x is dx over d, y is dy over d. So we have 6 over 3 is 2. -9 over 3 is -9. So your point of intersection is 2, -3. Let's do the same thing now with the equation what we just did. We have this equation. We have 4x plus 3y equals 11, -5x plus 2y equals 15. So put them in the matrix form first. So what goes in my first row on my matrix? 4 and 3, and the answer 11. Then, very good. Now we're going to find the main determinant. D is equal to 23. How do we set up dx? Nope, not dx.
Oh, the X, oh, it's
Yeah.
11, 3, 15.
Right. So put the answer into the x column. 11, 3, 15, and 2. Times 2, 15 times 3, 22 minus 45, -23. Leave the x column alone. Put the answers in the y column. +60 plus 55 is 115. So dx is -23. dy is 115. Find dx. X is dx over d. Y is dy over d. -23 over 23, which is -1. 115 over 23 is 5. So my point of intersection is there. Much easier, I think. Especially when we have bigger matrices. Yes, now I'm going to give you a much bigger one. We have three equations. We have, this is example. We have negative 8x when that works. Here we go. I'm sorry about that. Erase that. So it's just x minus 3y plus 7z equals 13. The second equation is x plus y plus z equals 1. And the last one is x minus 2y plus 3z equals 4. So the concept is still the same. We have to set up the matrix. So the first column is the x's, the y's, and the z's. The first row is the first equation. So we just take the coefficients only, and this is our matrix. Now, there's a little bit different here. Okay, the shortcut, ideally what it tells you is this. Take on the top row, take the first one and do the determinant of the bottom one. Then minus this one and those two. Then this one, too much work. Don't worry about that. Here's a shortcut. Just write down the original matrix. Now, repeat the first two columns. If you have a 4x4, you repeat the first three columns. If you have a 7x7, the first six. So take the first two columns in this one and repeat it afterwards. Now we do the same. Multiply all of these and then add them together. So we have 3 times 1 times 1 plus negative 3 times 1 times 1 plus, well, no, now we're going to do these together. Because remember, when it's this direction, you add them all, because since there's multiple of them, we'll multiply these together and add them. So it's going to be 3 minus 3 minus 14 is going to be minus 14. That's the first part. Now, from this number, I got to subtract all of these products. So on the first one, I have negative 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 plus negative 2 plus 7. Again, this is the last time. If you don't understand what's going on, don't just copy it down. It's going to do you zero good. Just because you're good at copying doesn't mean anything. If you don't understand what's going on, then stop me and ask me. This is your last chance because we're coming to the end of the semester. Because I noticed you're just writing real quick, waiting till I write something before you put anything else on your paper. So do the dx, dy, dz now. I'll wait for y'all. Do the dx, dx. We take the answer, put it in the first column where it says x. So this column goes here. Everything else stays the same. So we'll have 13, 1, 4, negative 3, 1, negative 2. And then we write what we have. Copy over the first two columns. So I copy these two back at the end. Now I multiply each of these and add them together. (13 times 1 times 3 plus 4 times 1 times negative 3, 7, 1, negative 2. Then I subtract this product, the sum of these products. Oh, yeah. If I trusted, if I had anybody I could trust, then I wouldn't have to do that. Excellent. That's everything. Multiply these and add them together. Multiply these, add together, and subtract the two answers. So we have 3 times 1 times negative 3, negative 2, 1, and 13. 4, 1, 7.
Yeah, so the ones that are cross and to add.
Well, you got to add all of them. You multiply these, add them together, multiply these, and then subtract the two answers.
Okay.
39 minus 12 minus 14, negative 9, negative 26, positive 28. Seven. $72. It's 39 minus 26 is 13. Negative 9. Thirteen. 2. It's 35, not 37. Positive 2, so it's negative 7. So dx is 20. Is that what you got?
No.
I mean, yeah, so actually is no, it's probably mine because I'm trying to do 2 or 3 things at once. So I have where's dx 13.14, -3.1, -2, 7.13. Okay. 13 times 3 is 39, minus 12, minus 14. 39 minus 26, 13. -9, -26, +28. So that makes it a +2 minus that makes it -7.
Okay, plus. Yeah, that would have said that's enough for the moment. Yeah. There you go. I'm glad that it was at the end and not at the beginning, because I would.
Now we take the answers and put it in the y column. So we have 1, 1, 1, 13, 1, 4, 7, 1, 3. 1, 1, 1, 13, 1, 4. Three plus 13 plus 28. Seven plus 4 plus 39. 41. What'd you get for dy? Leave the x and y columns alone. And put the answer in the y column. And dz is -14. No?
We were 24. Would it not be 14?
Oh, yes, it would be 14. You're right. Thank you. So it's 1. So it's -24.
And then we're just divided.
Then divide everything by d. So d is equal to -10. dx was 20. dy was -6. dz is -24. X is -2.
Be positive.
You got negative?
No, for Z, it would be one. It's a -10, -12 over. No, -24.
Oh, it should be -10, right? Good catch. Yes, so the negatives cancel. Very good. So the point of intersection of those three lines. Let's leave it as fractions. That's the point of intersection. So that's Kramer's rule. Makes it much easier to solve. Questions? All right. That's it for the semester.
I have a question about this. So on the practice exam, it says like it's 10%, right? So
Right.
10% of that practice exam.
Of that grade, right?
To
Your
the,
test score
to the test score of that exam.
of that exam, right?
Will that happen like at the end of this semester?
Well, yeah, I add everything together. That's why it was too difficult to try to do it online.
Mhm.
So at the end, I take all your practice exams, take the highest score, divide that by 10, add it to your test score at the very end. So if you do the final exam also, that's 20%. So pretty much everybody should make A's on the final if they do all the practice exams. So that's it. Everybody else started early.
Well, thank you so much for everything.
You are very welcome. So what's your major going to be?
Business management.
Let me just take business calculus. I don't teach that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm gonna be very, very exciting.
And you should be. Yeah, I think you do great.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck on your finals. Everything's online, but I'll be here, sitting here. If nobody shows up, I'll be doing my work. So if you have any questions, go ahead and holler. All right.
Okay.
Good luck. You too. You do anything fun?
For,
Summer?
I'm taking 2 summer classes, working. My brother's graduating nursing school, so we're gonna go visit him in Florida. Besides that, just chilling.
Excellent.
Yeah. You?
Well, I'm teaching I'm teaching like 6 or 7 classes this summer, but I have a conference in Denver I'm presenting at. Hopefully hearing back from Brussels. And then I may be going to Philadelphia as a school representative to the National Science Foundation
Exciting.
for a conference, which would be, which I don't have to do anything, just go over there and just sit and listen.
Oh, that's nice.
And then get ready for next fall, which I got a couple more presentations in different places in Indonesia, in Hawaii.
Oh, dang.
I'm doing more international stuff now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you again for everything.
You're very welcome. I really enjoyed having you here.
Thank you. You're a great teacher.
Thank you.
Great rest of semester and all your presentations.
Yeah, if you
go
ever
well.
need anything, a letter recommendation, just shoot me a letter, a
Okay,
message.
yeah.
I'll be more than happy to.
Okay, thank you so much.
Are
I
you-
actually am applying to scholarship, so I'll.
Oh,
email
yeah,
you.
even better, just write out what you think and I'll modify it and make it sound,
Okay,
okay?
thank you so much.
You're
I
very
appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
The vectors. Good morning. Excited because it's the end of the semester. How are you doing?
I thought that was the smart board, and I was like, "Oh, I can figure out how to do it." I don't know. That's not the smart board. Is that your laptop?
Yeah,
And what,
I'm using that. The projector, I'm using the projector and I'm using Zoom to telecast it. I live stream all my classes. What I do is because some of my students have jobs and they have families to take care of.
Yeah.
So I live stream it so there's nobody ever absent. And they can either watch it from home when they have kids that are sick. And then what I do afterwards, I upload my videos to Zoom and I zip PDF my copies of my notes and I send it to everybody. So because if you watch a video, that's pretty boring to me. But if you have the notes with the videos, you can follow along and see what's going on. So
yeah, yeah. That's what, so they have, kind of do it a little different, but I use the interactives that
Mhm.
Pearson has, and they come with guided note templates, and they are aligned with the videos. And so when they come to class, it's kind of like a flip.
I was gonna say
go
it's not like a
there-
flip tab, yeah. And flip in the long run, actually flips work better.
Yeah, because they can process the information better. That's
and
how I
take
try to
a-
tell my son, because you know, it's like so much. He's like, Mom, this is so much information. And I was just like, well, Luke, just read, especially like for history.
If you
I
get
said,
ahead,
read ahead of time, and then your brain is already processed. So then
exactly,
when you hear
and
it,
it's not learning, it's just, it's remembering and then
yeah,
finding.
yeah,
But that's the way people used to, like my parents said, no, always be prepared for your class, always read ahead and be prepared for your class.
yes.
And that's the way it used to be in the older generations, but then we got lazy and lazy and lazy, and then we're getting even lazier and lazier and lazier.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So but that's cool to Zoom. And then when you Zoom, that's the whiteboard.
Mhm.
Okay, because I can't sometimes when I try to open up the whiteboard, it tells me to pick a template. And I think it's because I have like a tablet PC kind of.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
so it's making me pick
Pick a template that you'll be
that's
using.
connected to my
The
style.
applicate, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like,
No, it's-
and it doesn't always work, and then they
No.
can't see it.
And this thing has a whole bunch of stuff that I mean, I'm just finding out stuff that I can use. I could, I can even write over this
Oh, you
thing,
know what I'm thinking about? Teams. This is Zoom.
the Zoom, yeah.
This is Zoom.
Teams,
It's
all the
Teams.
universities I deal with, in my programs, they said, no, we got rid of Teams because it's too limiting. It's too
Oh.
picky, and
It's picky.
everybody says Zoom has a million more
It does.
applications.
It's so much easier.
Yeah,
You're
oh,
right. It's so much
it's easier for the students. It takes less, even though Teams is integrated into but it's not user friendly.
Yeah. I'm
Every
sure we
person,
use it just because it's connected to the office stuff and you don't want to have to pay for
nobody has to pay for it. Yeah,
an
and
outside thing. I mean,
but I bought
okay.
I bought this when we were in COVID, and so I just never got canceled it. So I keep
The
it.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's a
Because that's
lot
true.
more
You
easier.
can still use it free, but you only get like an hour.
And the number of people you can have on there, it's limited.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this one here, and I could save a whole bunch of videos on there, but I get lazy a lot of times. I forget to download my videos.
Yeah.
At the end of the week.
Yeah.
And then it won't let me save my last
look.
song. Save it. Exactly. So I have to save it to my computer.
It's like, oh, let me go. Put this up here. Okay.
Exactly. And then
My student,
I lost.
did you post up? Sorry.
I-
I'm sorry. Here it is.
I gotta go look
Here
for
it
it.
is, right here. Here it is. Let me give you another.
I've lost so many videos because I put them some places I didn't know, or I let the computer save it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it saves it in OneNote, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
So,
And I need to learn how to, I keep saying I want to learn how to use OneNote. Because I just bought me a Surface tablet because I feel like, actually I bought it like 6 months ago because I thought my laptop was going to go out because you can
So-
hear it.
Mhm, mhm.
And so I'm like,
I don't want
but it's
to.
still kicking. It's still kicking, even though I'm getting the message that says, hey, your battery can no longer sustain the system, it needs to be replaced. So I'm getting this message, which it comes up and I try to take a screenshot of it to send it to IT, but when I do that, it goes away when I go to try to get my Snagit and then I can't find it anymore. I'm like, how you gonna send me this message and I
can't find it. I know it's an old story. I think I've heard it so many times.
Right. Anyway, but I do want to learn how to use the OneNote and the notebook, the digital notebook.
Oh yeah, I play with that. OneNote I've used a bunch of times. Again, I don't like it because you have to be hooked up to our system. And when I'm at home and I'm looking for OneNote stuff, I can't really get to it.
Yeah.
So that's limiting to what I'm gonna use it for. So that's why I'm looking for things so I can disconnect it off my so it doesn't save it to it automatically. So I have to wait the next day and then download it, then get rid of it.
Right. Well, okay. Have fun. What is it you're hearing? You talking?
This is
Cal one?
pre-cal.
Oh, pre.
Like Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday is my Cal 1, Cal 2 classes. And so, what do you have today?
Today I had stats and then I had, so I just got out of stats. And then I have 1332.
Okay.
1230.
Oh, you have a long time to go. Oh, I'm so sorry.
This is kind of better. 'Cause Tuesday, Thursday, I'm 9:30 to 2:30, no break.
Oh, that's overkill there. Have a great, safe weekend too. Okay, guys, I'm looking at our schedule here. What we have left to do. I'm thinking about doing chapter 9, finishing it today, and then doing chapter 11.5, the partial fractions, and then remove chapter 10. I'll still lecture on it next week, but not make you graded for it. Because I'm going to fly through it real quick next week. So chapter 10, the parabola eclipse, the conic sections are very long and drawn out. It's not difficult. It's just that there are tons of formulas, and there are a lot of formulas that are procedural. So I might just remove that from the testing. We'll just cover it just for your own edification, but only make 9.4, chapter 9 and chapter 11, last two that are due for grades. And if anybody's taken chapter 10 test already, then I'll either change it to 100 or just drop them all together. So in other words, it won't be a test for chapter 10. So I'm going to erase the test for chapter 10. Yeah, what do y'all think? Should I do that or not? We'll still cover it, but it won't be graded for it. Or as far as we can, because I mean, I said those 4 topics are going to be pretty hectic. What do y'all think? Remember, we lost a month at the beginning of the semester, and because the system wasn't working. So what do you think? Removing, well, we'll still cover chapter 10, but removing it from the grading scheme. What do you think? Well, we're gonna do vectors today. That'll finish chapter 9. And on Monday, or today, or Monday for sure, we'll do chapter 11, section 5. That's a short topic on partial fractions. And then we'll start parabolas, ellipses, hyperboloids, and the conic sections. But these are the last ones I'd grade. These are just for your own information. You want to do that? You're thinking twice about it? You want me to keep chapter 10 for a grade? No? Or yes? No? How about you? No? Okay, so but next week I'll just cover it. And then however far we get next Wednesday, that'll be it. Because the week after that is final exams. Oh yeah, I'll leave the assignments up. But when I do what I do when I finish the grading, because I have all these bonus points and stuff, is hold it. I never stopped